One, I know what episode this is. Two, I set up the room by myself today and made it all look really good. So I'm on top of it.
You're on top of it this morning, and I'm on top of the new backdrop features. So this morning, if you're listening, tune into the video version, of course, live here on YouTube and Spotify. Picked up a little Phantom Menace, Star Wars #1, the first movie in the entire
Star Wars history.
Each one's like a saga in its own little trilogy, but I guess it's a saga overall, right? It's the way they word it.
Some might say the best out of all of them.
It's a classic throwback. The Phantom Menace VHS tape is going in the backdrop on the back shelving as a bit of feng shui for the room.
A bit of vibe. But we also have, I don't know if you can see it on camera, we've got a little Ghostbusters thing up there as well.
Spangle plush. I don't think you can be able to see it.
No, it's next to Archie.
But essentially, I have to replace something, or I think I need to replace something that I'm less fond of on my side with Phantom Menace, because this came out in 2000 when we were probably 12 or 13, one of the biggest movies of our entire generation to go and see at the cinemas.
But it was also a huge thing for Australians, right? Because it got filmed in Sydney, like in Fox Studios, and it was like such a massive thing. Like that was kind of like, I think we've talked about it in like previous episodes where Australia was really trying to like launch to have Hollywood here. And that's when they did The Matrix and all that kind of stuff. So they filmed this as well in the Fox Studios.
Classically hated for some weird characters like Jar Jar Binks, but young Anakin in the pod racing, Queen Amidala.
But then now, like, Jar Jar Binks is like, everybody's like, he's a secret Sith Lord and stuff, like those fan theories, which is always really interesting.
The more time that the internet has to come up with new conspiracies and fan theories, the more that's going to be unraveled. But even has like the graphics and the VHS tape and stuff. Probably never play it. Probably worth $10 if that. But it's a timeless thing, and the plastic's a bit busted on it. But
it's so busted. But apparently, isn't it like the gold ones? Like, it's a little bit special. It's not like a standard black case or whatever it is.
I think that's a bit of a myth. I don't know. I'm not too sure. So I've got two VHS on the backdrop here.
You do.
That I have to replace. So I can either remove Harry and the Hendersons, which is a classic in its own right, but not something you can watch as many times as Star Wars. Star Wars is like you can watch it every year if you wanted to.
I feel like it probably suits more of the sci-fi vibe that we have going on.
Harry and the Hendersons, which I did love.
Yep.
Alternatively, I have Tony Robbins' life management systems.
I mean, we're still trying to manage life as it is. So
we probably open it then and actually watch it.
Maybe.
Because we watched the other ones.
One, we'll probably need to spend $50 on a VHS player. Two, we'll need to find the cables to connect it to our TV as well, because all the TVs are HDMI and VHSs are RCA. So
you're saying
we'll probably have to spend like $80 to watch.
Just to get some life management systems in place.
Yeah. But we'll probably be able to find a ripped version on YouTube anyway. You going to get rid of that one?
I'm going to get rid of that.
Oh, you're going to keep Harry Henderson's?
I think so.
Okay.
It's more, this is severely duct taped.
Oh, that's right, because you just ripped the packaging. It's not brand new anymore.
I mean, it hasn't been played.
You know what?
Duct tape is strong.
It is super strong. Well, that's what it is for, right? It's gaffer tape.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. So if anybody would like that VHS, drop a comment in the YouTube.
Yeah, we'll just send it out to someone. Anyone wants a VHS tape from 1996, Tony Robbins Company. I'll read the little synopsis on the back. Oh, I've just ripped the wood. Good
one. Why'd you do that for?
Well, I had to get it off somehow. It was going to come off anyway. I've just wrecked the VHS.
As well as the bookshelf.
I mean, it's shitty wood. It's just like MDF stuff, and I've just ripped a huge gash in it.
That's fine. I guess put the VHS on it and cover it so I don't see it anymore.
Yeah, well, you love your DIY projects. You can paint over it.
Maybe.
It or something.
At least it's going to be a little bit more sturdy. There you go.
We've got a rustic look to the bookshelf now. You look heaps upset about that.
I know I am. Try not to show it too much.
It's just cheap MDF cardboard stuff.
But I feel like if I peeled it off, then it wouldn't have...
Well, you have your side to worry about.
I'll
worry about my one.
Yeah.
Let's get into the synopsis of life management system. So enjoy an exciting sneak preview of some of Tony Robbins' most exclusive seminars and discover a simple and powerful tool you can use to immediately increase the quality of your life by changing the quality of any experience you have. You can change the quality of any experience by managing your urges.
Your urges? Interesting.
Overeating, for example, is not a constant condition. We overeat only when we have the urge to do so. By learning to eliminate urges that don't support you and intensifying those that do, exercise, for example, you will massively increase the quality of your life. Discipline becomes effortless and your life becomes extraordinary. Send it out. Drop a comment. Best comment in this video will get this VHS sent out to you.
But those are like just timeless, age-old, like everyone's always working on discipline.
Classic maxims.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, lean forward a sec. Let me fix it.
I'm ripping cabinets. I'm just messing up the beanie positioning on my head. It's just all happening.
It is. It's chaos right now.
It's chaos.
No,
and
not really.
With life management systems, you will control that chaos and turn chaos into order in an extraordinary manner.
Perfect. When do you think he went from Anthony Robbins to Tony Robbins? Like when did Anthony just become too long? Call me Tony.
Well, back in the day, like this is the 90s, everything was based around the yellow pages.
Ah, right.
So you'd think having A is better than T.
Yes, because you'd come up first in like an alphabetical search.
Yeah, not to say people are going to find him through yellow pages, but that was kind of the mentality. Like AAA plumbing services was like people were like ABC learning system, like kindergarten
Locksmith,
or something.
Yeah, I getcha.
So like you'd think A would make more sense. So potentially when
the internet was like
came around, and it was like I just need less characters. Interesting question though.
Yeah, Anthony, Tony.
Yo,
Tony, help me with my life.
We should go firewalk with him sometime.
Apparently that's amazing. I knew
Apparently
someone.
It's very expensive.
Yeah, I knew someone that did it. They spent like $5,000.
I was about to say it's stupidly expensive.
Yeah, but it's like a 2 or 3 day thing. Like it's not like a singular day, and they, you know, you do the shouting and you do the journaling and you
let's have a look. It's coming in September 2023 here in Sydney.
Oh, really? Let me switcheroo over. Oh, look at that power pose as well.
When did Anthony?
I'm gonna say he was here like 5 years ago, potentially. Age lives.
Well, Tony Robbins is an even bigger jerk than you thought. There's not much about him changing his name. Maybe it's just he sort of just had two names.
Yeah.
September 14th to 17th. Buy one, get one free. Ends Friday. I mean, we can both go for the price of one.
Interesting.
Massive stadium event.
Wow.
Transform your life in 4 days. Day one, turn fear into power.
Was that Oprah walking along Coles?
Yeah, they need like a celebrity
famous
endorsement.
People. And I'm pretty sure that's Kelly Clarkson in the background. It looks like famous people.
Day 2, turn dreams into reality. Day 3, break through to your new life. And day 4, the power of pure energy.
That, like, I know Tony Robbins has been around for a while. This self-help thing, like, does work for some people, but those titles sound like cults.
It's just, they're just buzzy keywords. Yeah. Have you seen any of them before? I think there was a Netflix documentary like 3 or 4 years ago, and it was pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. Not in terms of like appealing to me, but just the way what people go into it thinking they're going to get out of it and stuff. Like they do believe it's going to change their life, and it might. But any sort of motivational stuff like that, or whether it's just a one-on-one experience, or even just like watching an interesting YouTube video, it kind of dissipates fast, that motivation and that drive. So for $5,000, if you watch the documentary, if you get a good spot, like on the ground floor rather than back in the nosebleeds, he might may have the potential of like raising your hand at the right time, and he approaches you and works through some of your own problems or traumas or whatever. But to pay that much and not get any takeaway from it, like if you go and pay $5,000 and you're not one of the lucky ones, and then by the next weekend you're back to your old ways, like fuck, what a waste of money. Yeah.
I mean, you still get something because, like, you know, it's that whole like human behavior type thing. Like if you're in a crowd and everybody is like exerting the same emotion, like you're going to have that emotion as well. So it's if like everybody's, like how women sync up during their time of month. Men
just it's sort of like the machoism.
Yeah.
Everyone has to level up their macho. I don't know why I have to bring up periods.
It's fine.
It's not.
Just people are syncing their emotions, right? So like everybody's, same as like a sports stadium, right? Like everybody's excited about to get like a kicking the ball through the post or whatever it is, and everyone's like cheering and everyone's like, you catch on. Like I'm not heaps into sports, right? But if I go to a live game,
you would do the Mexican flat.
Of course. Went to go see rugby union, playing, like seeing the Wallabies and stuff play, and then everyone does the Mexican flag and like cheering and like, yeah, go.
See, I don't do that.
Well, if you're at a live sports game, you probably would.
I don't participate. When everyone gets their phones out at like a concert, everyone's like, put your hands up. I'm the one not putting my hands up at a concert.
We saw Tom Segura and you literally put your phone up as well. Or was it Bert Kreischer? You took it out.
That's different because it's...
How?
That's a good question because I was hesitant to bring my phone out.
Is it because I did and you're like, oh, yeah, I better?
I think it's more my limbs I'm not willing to expose.
So you don't want to like open up your chest to like getting attacked?
Yeah, like it's fucking wartime. I honestly think it is. I think it is. Where I can go like this and still cover my heart, my vital organs, and hold my phone up and hold the light out.
Right.
But everyone's like, put your hands up. I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
That's like the most vulnerable time ever.
In a big like arena.
I can't say it's justified or makes any sense. Anyway, Tony Robbins. We're looking at prices here. Mm-hmm. The nosebleeds are $900. Working our way down to the floor, like the sitting, the
energy center,
the ground floor level.
Yeah,
$2,500 to $5,000, or the energy center. Yeah,
yeah,
premium experience.
Diamond lounge privileges. Interesting.
Yeah, so the most expensive one for this 4-day event is $6,000. So that's what, $1,500 a day. Mm-hmm. You're getting, you have separate registration. Very surprising. They probably upsell you like crazy over there. Mm-hmm. Priority event access. You get a superb buffet meals and refreshments. Mm-hmm. Complimentary barista service throughout the event. So you just get them coffee. Concierge on call for any assistance. So if you have diarrhea from
they get you a nappy and like an adult nappy or something.
Yeah, they'll do anything. Right? If you're just like exploding with enthusiasm, literally, they'll come and sort you out.
Right.
Magical mini massage.
What? Magical mini massage. Is that just like where he puts like his hand on your face? Is like, grr.
I don't think it'd be him.
No, to someone else. Maybe someone in his crew.
Yeah, I don't know. And then you get a 10-day challenge as a follow-up of a bunch of emails.
Well, it also says just about like unmatched opportunity to offer networking.
Yeah, so they've just, people that can afford it just have their own little, it's like a VIP section in a club. Mm. It's just, you have access to a few more other wealthy people to mingle with.
Or it's like business class on like planes, you get priority seating.
Yeah. That's not my thing.
No. Like, Gary Vee was the other one that we sort of and ahhed about.
If anything, you want to go to like Malaysia or Singapore where cost of living is generally cheaper and the wages are a bit cheaper or like lesser than compared to like westernized countries.
Tickets would be cheaper?
Tickets would be cheaper.
And you get a holiday out of it.
Yeah. That could be the play.
Interesting.
Malaysia, let's have a look.
Is that when SFX is on as well? Is it SFX? What's the...
South by Southwest.
Yes, thank you. SWS.
You're always 90% there with the memory.
With the acronyms. Yeah. So many acronyms.
Like every day someone asks like what car you have, you're like, you're close, but you're never quite there.
Yeah, I've just started calling it the white car to,
Honda, Holden, Hyundai, the H car?
I know it's not a Hyundai. It's a Holden or a Honda. Either or. It's a Holden, I think. Yeah, Holden.
360 experience. Oh, website's not down. Anyway,
okay.
So what were we going to do? Yeah, someone drop a comment about the Tony Robbins or Anthony Robbins in this case.
And we can send it to
VHS tape. But that was a pretty decent intro talking about the Star Wars.
Sure, VHS. Yeah. Get a little banteroo going along, so...
But yeah, we just need I need more background stuff and more stuff to cover the ripped wood. Chipped wood.
Well, it's covered now. So, you know what? I'll probably stop. Don't let me see it. I'll forget about it and it'll be fine. Because I think I took something away from my background. I've got heaps on my side, actually.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't know. You have like a plush giraffe and it doesn't hold any sentimental value to you at all.
It does. That plush giraffe, right? This is going to be like...
Show the people.
Okay, hold on.
It looks like any old plush giraffe you'd get... Is it like a Beanie Baby one?
Yes. So it's similar to a Beanie Baby. So this has been, I've had this since I was like 7 or 8. And so what used to happen
so it's
was
probably more sentimental than anything in this room.
100% it is.
Okay.
So,
I retract my comment.
So when we actually got a video camera for the family, right? And we used to have like a whole lot of home videos and everything as well. And what my older brother used to do was take the video camera, put toys in the garden, and then pretend to be David Attenborough and say, and it was like voicing over and be like, and he used to be really, really good at accents and put on his voice and be like, oh, there's a giraffe here in the bushes, and started like describing and stuff and make little home videos with like just the animals being in the garden and stuff. So, and this is one of the animals that he used.
What happened to all the other animals?
I can't remember. Just the giraffe was the one I remember the most, maybe because I think it was mine originally, but in saying that, it's the most sentimental thing that I have.
I've been so close to throwing that out on multiple occasions.
Have you really?
Yeah.
This is like literally a childhood memory.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? I still probably have those tapes somewhere. I don't know where. I think I gave them to my dad to put them onto disc at some point that he said he's been trying to do for the last 10 years. So we'll see when that happens.
So I'm not going to get rid of it.
No, thank you.
I thought it was just like a thrift store pickup.
No, it's from my childhood.
I was like, why did she pick up this giraffe? Oh, speaking of thrift store pickups.
Yes.
Have you seen, I seen this TikTok yesterday about this hectic thrift store flip in America.
Oh, I think I've seen this
Picasso
video.
plates?
Yes. Was that actual true? Was that
It's
like a...
true. So check this out. We can bring it up on the screen.
That's crazy. It's like, I was about to say, did they even have plates back then? Of course they did.
So for the listeners that are new to the channel, hello, welcome. Thank you for being here.
On occasion, we like to talk about art.
Well, yeah, good news stories with art, not you talking about people that have destroyed art or eaten the banana. Someone ate that banana recently. Did you hear about that?
No, I don't even know. What are you talking about?
Banana art eaten.
This is becoming a very random episode.
Banana artwork eaten by Seoul museum visitor. So remember there was like that artwork of just a banana strapped to the wall? Someone ate it.
But how's the banana not go brown?
They pretty replace it, I guess.
Right.
It's more the symbolism.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, that's a
right.
tasty.
I think that's worse than my story, to be honest.
It's worse than your one.
Yeah.
But we, for those listening that are new, we sell stuff on eBay. That's how I make my living. A lot of the stuff is just all of it is secondhand goods, generally from thrift stores or op shops, as we do call them down under. And I've seen this story this week about this girl that found some Picasso plates, ceramic Picasso plates at her local thrift store.
It would honestly look, did you ever do in like primary school, you'd get the plate and like draw on it and then you give it to your mum for like Mother's Day and stuff?
What are you looking at?
Sorry, like my cable was, I'm just making sure it's still recording because like my cable was wrapped around my leg, but it's fine.
I can hear you. It's fine.
Okay,
so a woman bought 4 ceramic plates at a Salvation Army for $8. They turned out to be original Picassos and worth over $40,000. So apparently he actually did ceramics and stuff.
Right.
So not just like paintings. There's actually a TikTok video here that we can play.
Yeah.
And we shall. But just a crazy find that we don't really see or anything like that around here in Australia.
Yeah.
Buckle up, bitches. I'm about to tell you the wildest story of how I thrifted Picasso plates from Salvation Army and made a shitload of money. It is the year of our Lord, 2017. It is hot as fuck in New York. It's summertime. I go to the thrift store as I do.
This is from 6 years ago.
On my way home
Yeah,
from
it's
work,
a long time ago.
in. I don't see anything worthy. I pursue the China aisle, which is always my first stop because if you follow
This
me on
video
Instagram,
has
you know
60,000 likes and
I see
1,200
nothing.
comments. How
I
many of
almost
these
leave.
comments would be
I
like,
go back when they put out new stuff
stealing from
and
the
I
poor?
see these
What are you
sitting
doing
on
making
the
money
aisle.
off thrift
This is
stores?
the actual picture from the thrift store.
There's so
that
much
day.
hate.
As you can see, the plates.
So the Picasso plates are actually
I was going to buy them to make a tablescape.
pretty
because
crazy.
although
Not crazy
I am
looking, but like
well
very
versed in art,
unique
furniture,
Picasso.
periods,
I like
all
him. I
that
probably would have
stuff.
wanted to
I
pick
did
him
not
up
know
as well.
Picasso
To
leaves
eat
for
off?
some wild reason.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, when I tell you I Googled this set, which is Visage Noir, this is where the plates came from, and saw how much they were worth and almost cried, passed out, pissed on myself. I'm not lying. After realizing how much they were worth, I contacted all the auction houses in New York, Christie's, Sotheby's, Bonhams.
The
and I started
music
talking
just
to them.
stops.
Really are accepting. And they are editioned by alphabets. So these are, I have 2 L's, a G, and an E.
So it must be
And
heaps
there's 100
limited.
of So I ended up
Right.
consigning 3
think
plates
there's 100
instead
of each-
4. I
of
saved
each letter.
one to my
Yeah.
safe deposit box. In 20 years, I'll sell that and I'll give the money to my daughter for a.
She's putting one, like a couple in a safety deposit box, and the rest are going to auction.
One sold for
Yeah.
16,700.
Whoa.
The rest sold for like almost the same, like 12,000, 15,000. So it's
Crazy.
So
quite
they
a
sell
lot
them
of money.
individually.
And when I tell you that I was
Yeah.
in my office on my lunch break watching this live
But if you were
auction
collecting
go
them, you
down,
wouldn't buy them in sets because it
crying,
saves you time hunting for the
crying
other
my
ones
eyes
to get
out.
the whole collection
Because
together.
I am an immigrant. I came here from Italy when I was 7, and this is huge. I'm sure the craziest thrift find ever. How I thrifted
Crazy.
Picasso plates.
All right, I'm going to be checking plates
sold
from
them.
now on every time I go out to the op shops.
Yeah, it's the same as like when you see Gary Vee, like mug life. It's like one random mug doesn't mean you have to search the entire section.
Although I did find that one mug that was worth like $90. No,
Yeah,
$80?
but $90 is
Super rare.
this is 16 grand.
It is. Yeah, it's not a $100 mug.
It's like dramatic difference between $100 and $1,000 or even 10,000. So
yeah, I had no idea he made ceramics. I just thought it was paintings.
well,
and
I'm pretty sure no one would unless you're like a true
artistic.
or
artisan?
either into Picasso or into ceramics themselves.
Mhm.
But it's a particular type of ceramic. It's like there's probably heaps of random different designs and stuff from different eras, but this is like more of like an artwork on a ceramic plate.
Mhm.
There's probably like fine like china and all that sort of stuff. That's like antiques, but it's not like with artwork on it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like a combination of two different worlds.
Mhm.
But it's pretty a lot more affordable than actual Picasso painting.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So if you want some Picasso memorabilia in your collection, might be a good entry point. But yeah, like you're never going to find something like that in Australia because it's just the country's so young
Mm-hmm.
and the population's so small that anything like this of value is probably not going to be donated. Obviously, there's a rare chance that something slips through the cracks. But over there's just so many people.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
the more people there are, the more elderly people there are, the more what's it called, deceased estates and stuff
Mhm.
that occur. So there's like more chance for these things to pop up there. It's just got more history there, more different immigrants from different countries, more wealthy people, and just a larger population. So there's like the amount of stuff that could like this that could hit the thrift stores is just like exponentially more than what would hit anything here in Australia.
Oh, 100%. Like my mum collects antiques, but they're all England, 1800s or whatever it is. Like most of the antiques here, or not most, probably like all the antiques here are imported from overseas. Like people have brought them over with them and they're either, like you said, from a deceased estate or they've just been donated or like they're clearing out their parents' house and they have no idea and they just donate them. That's how they always end up in the op shops. Otherwise, they do end up in auctions and things like that. But finding something like that is 100% like a needle in a haystack. Like it's a dime a dozen. Like you're rarely going to find anything like that. And when we've gone to the op shops and stuff, 1 out of every 20 stores, we might find like a ridiculously expensive item.
Yeah, but what do you consider ridiculously expensive? It's like $150.
Yeah, that's true. Like,
$1,000 is even rarer. Like
yeah. What's the most expensive thing we've found? Was it the Mambo shirt?
no, we sold that North Face jacket. It was like,
Oh, yeah.
1,200.
That was a super rare one.
but
So
that was from 4 years ago. It's not like it's antique or vintage.
No. That was the Supreme and North Face collab, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a designer thing. It's not
Mm-hmm.
the price of it, the value of it hasn't gone up with age. This has gone up by hype and demand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's the thing with fashion as well, with clothing. Like it goes up and down all the time depending on like who's interested in it.
So here's some more Pablo Picasso different plates. This is on
Ooh.
First Dibs. I never heard of this website.
First Dibs. Cute name. I like those plates.
Yeah, well, you ain't getting one. They're fucking 20 grand.
No, I know. I just like, we've just got like boring plates and stuff.
Well, we're generally poor and boring people. We're going to have $10 plates from Kmart most of the time. I don't know what you...
That's cool.
Even the book, first edition Picasso ceramic book from 1950 is 18 grand. Just
right.
It's the same as like vintage shirts, as though there's a really popular, not popular, but highly sought after vintage wrap tees t-shirt, like an almanac of like all the best shirts. And even
Gotcha.
that's super hard to get and a few $100s just to get the book. And
Well, it's like a research thing, right? So if you have this, then you have a higher chance of like seeing it out in the wild.
So this book alone is 18 grand.
All right, we'll keep an eye out for the Picasso book.
Anything Picasso does well.
Mhm.
We've picked up even Picasso like puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
The Picasso vintage shirts do really well.
Mm-hmm. It's
But very unique artwork style. It's hard to
100%.
it's hard to miss.
He's such an interesting dude, right? Like a lot of the like motivation and resistance books and stuff that we've been reading, they always reference Picasso as like a just like a learning tale, right? Like they, you know, wasn't famous until like after he died and like all that kind of thing. Like it's very
The one I've been mentioning lately is Van Gogh, but it's
Van Gogh. I'm dumb. Yeah, it was Van Gogh.
It's the same kind of not the same person or same artwork, but the same kind of posthumous success. I think Picasso was way more popular whilst he was still alive.
Yeah.
Van Gogh, on the other hand, different story.
No, yeah, I was getting them confused.
So good. Got to pull you up sometimes, you know.
That's fine. I get confused.
We all get confused. I mean,
all art at the end of the day. But yeah, Picasso's super whack, but I really, really like some of the stuff that he has. Like, it's just very interesting. I like the super colorful things.
so yeah, if you're in the thrift store, look for anything art related. I mean,
We've got like big posters that we're wanting to frame. Like, it's just very, very interesting because that kind of stuff tends to be in people's houses for such a long time because it's more of like a decor
Slow
sort of
turnover.
item. Exactly, yeah. So you don't find them as often, hence that's why they're more rare.
yeah. But artwork in general is, if you find a good piece of art, and it could be anything from a poster to ceramics like this, or even like the stuff that I prefer to find and sell is like basically artwork on a t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Like art's timeless if it's good art and the artist has some sort of following or unique style or interesting backstory. It's more interesting. Like art tells a story in a sense.
Yeah. And like they say it is subjective. Like some people like it, some people hate it. But most of the time, if it's good, people love it.
Some stuff like this is universally. It's like the style's not universally loved. Not everyone loves this style. But him as an artist is universally loved. Does that make sense? It's like the art versus the artist sort of thing. Like this right here is not like the most interesting piece of art. Like a 4-year-old could smash this together, you'd imagine.
100%. Yeah.
But people would love it. So interesting website. First Dibs, never heard of it. What else do they have? See if they got any rollies for sale.
What? Rollies?
Rollies.
What are rollies?
Rolex.
Oh, Rolex. Since when are you into rollies?
Who says I wasn't? I've always been a rollie guy.
Says the Apple Watch that you've had on your wrist for
I'm
like
hiding that
7
right now.
years.
Or
Yeah.
Patek Philippe.
Right. Very expensive.
So, like, I've heard of it. I was out of curiosity while we're on this website. Rolex President.
Is it Rolex owned by the presidents?
No,
or
it's just like a model. I'm just curious how much they are because I hear about them all the time. President Day. Okay, 100 grand.
Oof.
30 grand. Rolex President 18K.
Did you get a gold one with a lot of diamantes on it? Diamantes, sorry, actual diamonds, not like the fake ones.
20 grand, 30 grand. Interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool website. If you're
First
rich.
dibs. Yeah. If you've got all the money to spend.
It's just eBay, high-end eBay by the looks of it. Because we were watching that show on Netflix, King of Collectibles, I think it was called.
Dude,
with the guy that runs Golden Auctions. And same kind of premise, like just a rich person's eBay, but Golden is more, like this website, First Dibs, is more designer and high-end fashion and jewelry and artwork, whereas Golden is more collectibles, sports and pop culture memorabilia. Like, for example, like, I mean, you just look at comics, 2023 spring comics. And a lot of the artwork, like, there's comics that will go for more than Picasso's.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this 40 grand
like first edition.
Superman 1. CGC 1.5 out of 10 rating, 40 grand, starting at 0 bids. There's 2022 tops Star Wars Chrome Darth Vader, $5,000. Hulk #1.
Led Zeppelin vinyl.
Michael Jackson glove. Talking about Michael Jackson this morning. That was a good show that we have to finish that off because speaking about eBay and collecting and flipping and stuff, King Collectibles, interesting show.
Oh, 100%.
It's kind of like we've done like a bunch of like thrifting videos in the past, showing things we find, flipping them, etc. This is just at the highest scale.
Highest end.
It's like American Pickers, but with pop culture.
100%. Yeah, they're literally flying private jets to meet clients to see if they want to give them their stuff to sell.
We'll spend 10 grand on the PJ to go and see if we can get this jersey off you.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah. Like it, and they said it was like booming during COVID and stuff when people were just at home bored and had money to burn. So yeah, very interesting.
Michael Jackson's glove, starting bid $5,000. Interesting stuff.
Very, very interesting.
So if you have money and you're willing to spend it, and inflation ain't really your jam, then come on here and bid on some stuff. Tell us what you bought.
Yeah, or buy us something. Either or.
Because I reckon a lot of these, I mean, you got to have money to bid on these, right?
Yes.
But there's not that many people that have thousands of dollars to bid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's just take a pool of 100 people right now.
Yeah.
Majority of them are going to be happy to bid on something on eBay with money they can burn.
Yes.
But a very small percentage of people are going to be able to even be considering bidding $1,000 on something because it's more money, less people have that much disposable income.
You'd have to be looking for it or actually want it. Be like, I need this to complete my collection.
Which means a lot of stuff would fall through the cracks.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if there's like 100 pieces of, I'm just giving out random numbers, 100 this, 1,000 that. If there's a bunch of artwork on here and all the rich people are interested in a certain number of things, all the other stuff that no one's interested in, there's no real demand for it.
Yes.
So potentially there might be like an arbitrage there where you can like slide in and get like mid-range stuff and then bundle up and flip it for more. Just an interesting thought. Yeah. Because not everything on this website is going to get bid on. No. Same as that Golden's website.
Well, they've got a lot of stuff for normal for sale, then they've got an auction part. So not everything's auction. Some of it's buy it now.
Yeah, same as like
eBay.
It's just arbitrage. If you can, but it's just at a much higher starting point rather than like getting something for $4. You're paying $400 for something. Like Last Chance, auction's ending soon. Like, what if people are like ending today or this week and no one's bid on it, and you're like, oh, this is a banger find that no one's even paid attention to yet, and you scoop it up. $14,000 gold ring with opal and diamonds, $600. What if it's worth $3,000? That's a lot of money to be made.
Mm-hmm. Like the hoop earrings,
$4,000. Original listing $9,800.
So maybe if it's like been up on the website for ages at its $9,000 price and it hasn't sold, then this sort of goes up to auction. Maybe this is where you can get me my engagement ring.
Oh yeah, chill out. I'll get you an engagement lamp for $400. But yeah, if you know what you're looking for, it could be some interesting stuff.
I like that nude woman watercolor. That's cool. 124. That's very interesting.
Okay, I do love nude artwork.
I just like interesting stuff. Like and you're the same. Just like interesting, unique things. There you go. So a lot of antiques.
Scroll this for the rest of the episode.
Yes, that'll be very entertaining for people just listening. For those that are just listening, just so you know what we're doing, we're on the First Dibs website. It's
that's
like
a dope chair.
Oh, that's really, really cool.
Vladimir Kagan mohair wing chair, polished nickel swivel base, $10,000.
$10,000 for a chair.
Okay, that's a nude woman. There's lots
I like
of
that one.
Whoa.
It's a zoom in.
It's a zoom in of the painted buttock.
Mm-hmm. Another nudie one. Don't like that one.
There's lots of nudie ones.
I
reckon you could find some cool artwork on here if you had I like the
sketches.
The line drawings more than the paintings.
Are we allowed to actually
show
this on
black clay sculpture?
No. Probably shouldn't zoom in on the nude stuff as well. It's on YouTube, not good.
It's a piece of artwork. It's a drawing.
I know, but it can get like striked and stuff. Not safe. Oh, it's already ticketed as not safe for kids anyway.
If they're going to flag us for showing artwork, then I don't want to be here. Are you serious?
We're too small time for this anyway. That'll be fine. No one's going to. Now they say, hey, we'll probably get flagged for it. It's fine.
I got Oscar the Grouch here. He's naked.
Oh, yeah. Is he actually? Yeah. Is he naked in his trash can?
I think he is.
Yeah.
If you're going to get flagged for showing that, then fuck off. Female nude Egon Schiele, original color type print from Egon 1920. That's cool. I like that. Big thick legs.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we'll get off to the art because we've done enough artwork today. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so I think what you're saying is like you could get some really like high end stuff for super cheap.
Yeah,
you get a bargain if people aren't after it.
The thing with artwork, what I was going to say before as well, is there's just so much to know and learn. Have you ever heard of this artist?
No.
Egon Schiele? Okay, let's go to the bottom part of like similar auctions. Have you ever heard of Sandra Selamanova or Tosin Oyeni or Shane Gross?
Mm-hmm.
So how many thousands of artists have you not heard of, but you could be into?
Yeah, it's fair.
But then other people into it as well. That's kind of like my point with Picasso. It's just is a household name, which is why people go after it. They're not necessarily after the art style. They're just after collecting the artist. Whereas on here, you could probably find some crazy pieces that you love, but no one really cares about it other than you.
Keep going. Yeah.
You're in the middle of a yawn. I'll get off the artwork though. But my point is, if you're into art and you don't really care what other people think and you have money, check it out because it's the first time I've seen this website. Salvador Dali, Pablo Picasso, Jean Cocteau.
Some of those I've heard for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on from art.
Right.
Last week you complained because I didn't bring up enough of your articles again.
No, we went through 2 of mine last week.
Did we?
Yeah.
All right.
Sometimes do, sometimes don't. It's fine.
Sometimes
we get to what we get to. If people want more of our articles, then we can do an after hours or extra bits kind of show. But that can be later on. That's fine. Plenty of time for people to hear me talk about stuff.
And plenty of time to delete TikTok off your phone if you're in Montana.
It's actually still deleted off my phone. I haven't had it on there in ages.
You're not in Montana.
Montana.
That's how you say it though, right?
I think so. My question was...
Well, how would an Aussie say it?
Montana.
Montana.
Tanner. Good old Tanner over there. Probably like that.
Probably like something like that.
Yeah.
Montana becomes first US state to ban China-based app TikTok. We've covered a lot of TikTok news in the last 6 months.
Yeah, we gave it a bit of a break. So we gave everybody a bit of a break for that one. But like,
this week we give an AI a break for a bit. So did you add one AI article? I'm like,
I did.
Let's just give it a break for a bit.
Okay. But my question is, how does a state moderate a banning of like one app? Like, how can they block it from people's phones and computers and things like that?
Have you read the article or have you just seen the headline?
Just seen the headline.
Okay, well, that explains why you don't know what's going on. So let me explain to you what's going on.
Go for it.
So this came out yesterday in the news. Montana becomes first state to ban China-based app TikTok. I think my article is a little more
in-depth?
Concise and in-depth, so I'll bring up my one.
Well, mine's like an Australian article. Yours is an American one, so...
Yeah,
makes sense.
We dump things down a fair bit, you know. Mm-hmm. It's what we do here.
In Australia, we shorten the words and dumb down the articles.
What do we shorten TikTok to?
TikTok.
That's pretty...
TT. We don't. No, we still call it TikTok.
TT.
Yeah.
TTs.
Tickety talks.
Tickety. That's the first time we've actually added more syllables to a word. Tickety talks.
Tickety talks.
Because imagine what like your parent would be like. You're making the old tickety talks.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
All right. So Montana became the first state in the US to enact a complete ban on TikTok on Wednesday when Republican Governor Greg Gianforte signed a measure that's more sweeping than any other state's attempts to curtail the social media app, which is owned by a Chinese tech company. The measure, scheduled to take effect from January 1st, 2024, is expected to be challenged legally and will serve as a testing ground for the TikTok-free America that many lawmakers have envisioned. TikTok spokes. So basically, this governor wants to ban it, and he's kind of in control to a degree, and has passed this bill. That's not 100% going to go ahead. There's going to be some backlash and
They're giving it time to have its backlash and stuff, and then they're like, well, if that doesn't happen, Jan 1st is like when we're going to ban it.
So a TikTok spokeswoman, Brooke Oberwater, argued that the law infringes on people's First Amendment rights and is unlawful. She declined to say whether the company will file a lawsuit. Let me get to the main part of the article. Okay, so on Wednesday, the governor also announced he is prohibiting the use of all social media applications tied to foreign adversaries on state equipment and for state businesses in Montana, effective June the 1st. Among the apps he listed are WeChat and Telegram, because they're headquartered in China and Russia. So we've talked about it in the past. There's been a bunch of bannings of TikTok for government officials, but they want to apply it to every resident in Montana. So the governor wants to expand the TikTok bill to include apps to foreign adversaries, which I just mentioned. Montana's new law prohibits... okay, this is the main part of the article, right?
Yeah.
Montana's new law prohibits downloads of TikTok in the state of Montana and would fine any entity, which is deemed as an app store, or TikTok, $10,000 per day for each time someone is offered the ability to access or download the app. So let me read that again clearly, right? The new law prohibits downloads of TikTok in the state, but the people that will be fined are app stores or TikTok.
Right.
At $10,000 per day for each time someone is offered the ability to access the app or to download the app. So as a resident, you don't get in trouble technically.
Right.
It's Google and Apple for advertising the app and for having it available to you to then, like, it's a temptation to download it. If you're presented with the temptation or the offer, then they can fine you based on that. The penalties would not apply to users. So I guess the initial question you asked is how they're going to do this.
How are they going to police it?
I don't know if it's going to go ahead. I think it could be a scare tactic. There is a couple of caveats, and in terms of they will roll back this new law if ByteDance is sold to a US contract, is basically what's the word I'm looking for? Like basically sold to a US company. So if it's no longer run by China. Yeah. So
I was just reading, like, they'll be able to ways to just get around it by using a VPN. Like,
yeah. Well, like if you're a resident, there's nothing. If you're a user, I don't think there's not going to be any real repercussions. You can't. I don't know how that would work.
Because I think if you put it on the individual person, that's their First Amendment right or whatever it is, or something like
Whereas
that.
the app stores have more control. They can just like type in a bit of code and be like, "Don't show it to anyone in this geographical area."
Yeah, fair.
So there's going to be a bunch of backlash and petitioning and stuff like that, but it's just an interesting concept, especially because it's applied just to one state. Obviously, there's red and blue states in America, which make different laws more applicable or more easily come into, like, I'm not using great words here because we're not like US political experts.
No, we're not. We're not political experts in general.
So, like, more or less, like, depending on who's running the state, is different laws are passed more or less easily.
I hear.
So the interesting part is that it falls on the app stores to control this to some degree. Some states, including Utah and Arkansas, have already enacted laws that could hinge social media use on parental consent. Similar bills are in the works for other states. Last year, California enacted a law requiring companies to beef up data protection and so forth. So
it's like cracking down on the drug dealers, not the people using the drugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good example.
Interesting. I thought about that and I was like, a smart one. I have smart moments, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. You did a long pause to that. You're like, does she? Does she really?
So I don't know. There's just so much back and forth, all this TikTok madness,
like,
and like who's controlling it and are they stealing your data? Like,
I feel like it's just a big like drama, like standoff kind of thing. It'd be like, if you don't do something, they're like almost bulldozing their way to be like, sell it to an American company and you'll still be able to make some money. Like it's about money and stuff at the end of the day.
But who says, okay, so everyone, like, it's all propaganda at the end of the day, back and forth. Even if an American company takes it over, look what happened with Twitter when you find out 5 years later what they were doing behind the scenes. They're still going to like be running different ads. They're still going to be like filtering off your data and your privacy. It's just the people that are at the top.
How are they using it?
How they use it, yeah.
Yeah, because like Facebook and Instagram and all that kind of stuff, they do the same thing. They're like recording your data and they're using your data for like advertising. This one's just not owned by an American company, but they're doing the exact same thing as each other. Literally the exact same thing as each other.
The thing is with TikTok and with ByteDance in particular, they got like the other app, Lemon 8, which I've talked about before, which is basically...
It's like a Be Real.
Same algorithm, but like Instagram Be Real style, like photo version. But let's say TikTok just caves in, right? And then they sell it off. They know the blueprint to getting one of these apps to work and how to stop. Oh my God.
Just keep talking, you ignore it.
I can't ignore it. I can.
They can't see it on camera if I'm yawning.
Okay, I'll shut up.
Yeah.
It shouldn't get to me, but it does.
You're not boring.
I know,
I'm just tired.
I'm like, wake up.
Yeah. When you yawned 1,000 times last time.
I yawned once. But they already know the blueprint. What's stopping them from just doing it again? Being like, we basically took over the entire social media realm with this short form vertical video.
Yeah.
Let's just like pivot and do something a tiny bit different with the same structure and process we had last time, and then just make a new app and just do it all over again.
They could.
It's really how much money is there at stake. If depends how much money they're making through ads. If they can just like sell for one gigantic sum of money and just cash out, it could be a tempting play. But like, what's their long-term vision? Like, same as any brand, they've probably got a 5 or 10 year plan of like different revenue streams coming in.
Yeah, business strategy.
So it's kind of like what they would envision the app to be doing in 5 years' time, or is in 5 years' time, like we've already seen every other app has integrated this vertical video style as well. I was even going to bring up last week, Amazon have got it now. So Amazon have got TikTok style storefront. So my point is like everyone's copied this same strategy of vertical video to increase the awareness on their application, right?
Right. So it's more just like creating video for your brand.
Sorry. Every app's like the more they can have people engaged on the app for a longer time, the better. And they're realizing TikTok is the vertical platform. Everyone's loving it.
Moving pictures.
Or a vertical format, rather. So like we need to implement some of it onto our platform to keep the attention here. So if TikTok are like in 5 years, they don't really have a huge plan, and they're like, everyone's going to be basically, every website or social media platform is going to have our sort of initial blueprint or strategy implemented in it, then how popular or how useful is our app going to be when everyone on the internet is just the same, like doing the same thing? Like, are we just going to be irrelevant at that point? In which case, it's better to like sell it off now while we have a chance.
Yeah, that's true. Like, is it like a not ticking time bomb, but like, is there end of life? Like, does it actually have like an end of life date if everybody's doing the exact same thing? But then again, like, how hard is it going to be to come in fresh in that social media market with something new? Like, it's hard to compete as it is with Meta and with Instagram. Everyone thought Snapchat was going to be for the long haul, but that's like kaput anyway. Yeah, like how long, like is TikTok going to be like one of the big three? Is it actually just going to stay around for a really long time?
I don't think it's going to be around.
Or is it YouTube Shorts are going to release their own app and they're like, you know, go to YouTube for your long form and go to YouTube Shorts for your short form stuff?
Yeah, I don't see it being like a 10 plus year thing like YouTube is. I think it's a short term thing to get attention, to shape culture to a degree, whether intentionally or not, I'm not too sure. But here we go. 2 weeks ago, Amazon rolls out its TikTok-like platform for all users in the US. So it's, instead of just seeing like a static image for an item, you're basically getting
a little video.
A little video.
Well, same as like Spotify, right? They've got like their version now. Reddit's got their own version. Like everybody's incorporating this sort of advertising, customer engagement style format.
Yeah. So look at this. You play a 1-minute video. There's a girl backpacking, and you don't even know it's an ad. Or then you're like, oh, click on the backpack that she's wearing. You can buy that backpack. Or click on the pants that she's wearing. You can buy those pants.
Right. Is it like an influencer brand deal? Or is it they've just got like a model
Probably a bunch
or
of actors or whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's this guy just standing at a train station or whatever.
Mhm.
Like, I want to buy that Carhartt jacket he's wearing. I want to buy those Converse shoes he's wearing.
I like that style. I want to buy those things. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's called Inspire.
That's the app, and it's in the US. But it's easier to sell something in video format than a picture, because you're like, I can see myself hiking like this woman is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what will make me, like, how can I get as close to that reality as possible?
Right. So this is very much like a modern form of advertising, right? Like just say you're in it's like a magazine, right? You have a fashion magazine and you go through and they've got like little lines with like everything they're wearing. You go and like into the corner, I've got like number item is this thing, number 2 item is this thing. But instead of having a still image in a magazine, you've got it in a video format.
On the biggest shopping website on the internet.
Yeah. So it's just like, okay, that sort of makes sense now. So that's just, the new form of that magazine layout of like wanting to buy those individual items, but you actually get to see it in movement. You get to see how it looks on someone.
Yeah. In its own, an environment that the item's intended to be in.
Yeah. And I think this kind of ties into like, how we're talking about like how they're going to advertise on the TV and stuff. So imagine if they would have something like this on the TV, push it to your phone and you get like the Amazon link and it has all the everything that they're wearing, or even a TV show that you're watching, right? You're watching a particular character and you're like, oh, I really love what they're wearing. Where can I get that? And advertise pops up and be like, this is what you can buy this thing.
Product placement at a whole new level.
Yes.
Even when you're watching like, I'm pretty sure like Spider-Man back in the day, they had like Sony speakers and things like that in the films, and you're like, oh, like it's a clear Sony product placement.
A little pop-up and being like, buy this now.
Yeah.
Very futuristic kind of thing.
It's not good when your movies are like trying to sell you stuff, because it takes you out of the experience and the story immediately.
Oh, 100%. And then imagine like a VR version, so augmented reality. So you're in there, you're watching a movie, you're engaged in the movie, and you'd be able to just be like, grab it and be able to buy it.
Well, the interesting thing about this compared to like a normal ad on TV, for example, usually they're only selling one item.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas here, you might already have, like this girl's wearing hiking pants, a backpack,
probably
has
drink
a drink
bottle,
bottle, some hiking shoes. Mm-hmm. If you already got a backpack and shoes, you're set.
Mm-hmm.
So the more items you can sell or like offer within that short video, the more demographics or target audience you can potentially hit on to sell at least one of those products, instead of being like, this one item they're trying to sell me is not applicable, swipe. So it's like 5 birds with one stone almost.
Yes, they're trying to just like get something that you'd be interested in. Very interesting.
So yeah,
okay,
it's cool. So, then you can, obviously Amazon, biggest app ever for e-commerce,
especially in America.
Got reviews and everything there.
Okay, that's interesting. So I can sort of see that working, especially if Amazon's the one that's pushing it.
Yeah. So it's saying here, we take into account many preferences that are unique to you, such as content you like in the feed. So no 2 feeds are the same.
Yes. If you're a regular Amazon shopper, like any sort of algorithm, it's going to recommend you stuff that it think it's going to be interested in. So it's going to start recommending you videos.
Seasonal things.
Exactly. Yeah. To say if you have like a baby or whatever, it start recommending you like baby items, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because if it can detect that you've just bought a bunch of newborn stuff, then it's like, okay, in the algorithm we can do newborn stuff purchased in March of this year, then we can just forecast into the future.
Like 1 year's time,
they're going to need these new baby items, or in 3 years' time we're going to need this type of item. It's just like, you're constantly just going to be fed ads. Oh, 5 years' time, you need a backpack for kindergarten or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. But it's convenient in a sense, because you don't have to like do all the hard work.
Yeah, but it's also making decisions for you as well.
So I guess my point to get to here was, how relevant is TikTok, or how trusted is it going to be compared to something like this?
Something that's tried and true.
Well, TikTok is a bunch of influencers trying to sell you something. Amazon is more credibility. There's reviews.
Well, it's already known to like sell you something. So it's not trying to break down that trust, right? Like selling 101 is to build trust, then build value in what it is that you're selling to then be able to sell it to that person. So TikTok, they're just trying to, one, build trust between themselves and their audience, and then two, then they can start recommending things for them to buy or suggest things for them to buy, right? But with Amazon, that people already know what they're getting when they go there. Like they already know they're going to be buying something, but if they can add an extra level to their buying experience or that customer experience, then it's going to just keep them on the platform longer and keep them shopping for longer.
Interesting.
Yeah, super interesting.
Too bad it's not available here in Australia, but even Amazon itself is not a hugely successful or popular means of buying anything.
No, it's a slow burn here in Australia. Like, and we've said this before, like multiple times, like Australia is like maybe like 5 years behind with that whole online shopping experience. People still prefer to go into stores. But Amazon is becoming a lot more popular. Like people are starting to use it a little bit more. It's just going to take a while for it to be popular here in Australia. Australians are very still like old school in the way that they shop and the way they consume.
Cool. All right, so
cool story, Sarah.
That's well, I just jumped all over the place from TikTok to Amazon, but we got there. We're kind of out of time, so I don't know if we can touch on any of the additional stuff. What else do you have here? Something about Gmail, AI. We'll skip over AI, and then something about Apple. Anything else you wanted to touch on in the next 2-3 minutes?
What articles do I have there?
So you haven't checked your Gmail in a while. Google may delete your account if it's unused.
Oh yeah, that was an interesting one because like to say that's going to affect YouTube as well, right? Because
no,
it's not going to affect YouTube.
They came out and said was someone on Twitter saying that it's not going to happen. So there's fears that unused accounts or old accounts are going to just get deleted out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And someone on Twitter, someone high up basically that has say or sway, was saying it's not true in terms of deleting channels and stuff like that.
Right.
Like if how many channels have you seen where you've watched a video from 12 years ago and it's got 18 million views and they haven't done anything since?
Yeah.
And the person's probably making $50-$100 a month just from a video from 10 years ago because it's always getting thousands of views just because it's already got 15 million, for example.
Yeah.
There's kind of fears that like those channels and those videos just might be gone.
Right.
But like it doesn't make any sense for YouTube to want to delete those because they're making they're getting ad dollars off
Fair
all
enough.
those.
Okay.
But I think I was reading Twitter is in the process of deleting
inactive
accounts at the moment as well.
Okay.
So there is my handle for my name without any extra letters or anything, exactly as I've wanted. Someone hasn't posted since 2012 and I want that handle. So I'm on the hunt.
Right. Going to keep an eye out for it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. All right. Thank you. Well, thank you for debunking that one for me. I thought that would be a good discussion topic.
I mean,
because like would people lose like subs and all that kind of thing as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. But subs aren't that important now.
Gmail accounts, I can understand why. As soon as there's money attached to it, like, we can lose ad revenue here. Let's not do the videos. That's a different story.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. We'll wrap it up.
All right. I was just going to say, no one ever hears about like Hotmail and stuff anymore anyway. It's just all about Gmail. Just Google. Yeah. Every now and then someone will pop out like a Hotmail, like, oh, Hotmail. Haven't had that one in a while. Because Hotmail used to be the thing. I started off with Hotmail.
Yeah. I have a Hotmail.
Yeah. Do you ever log into it though?
I've tried, but because they changed, because it was initially Hotmail and then it went to, you could start getting extensions like live.com.
Oh.
So it was part of like, Microsoft must have purchased them a decade and a half ago.
Okay.
And then once they got involved, there's just more of the password problems, like having your secret answers filled in and just more authentication to like access your account involved once Microsoft got in, because obviously they're pretty secure tech company and they want to like control everything in terms of making sure no one's like hacking in. So as soon as that got rolled in, you're inactive for a while. It's sort of it was impossible to like log into an old account unless you're certain of the password. But if you're like, forgot my password, then it's 10 times harder to get in now because my secret words don't work anywhere. Like, I don't know. But I'd be interested to see what's on that email.
Yeah.
But talking about this and deleting old accounts, what would be the point of having an inactive Hotmail account for over a decade that's full of spam? It's eating up their servers somewhere times a million or plus people.
100%.
You can understand why they want to remove it at some point. So, yeah.
Because people would make new ones and then forget about the old one and don't know how to like delete it or deactivate it properly and stuff. So, yeah, it makes sense.
The thing is, like, when do you start removing it? And like, quickly touch on this before we go, because I was going to bring it up last week as well. This could be a problem going forward on the internet. Is, you know, the website Imgur, Imgur, where you can upload images.
Yeah.
So, I'll try and find a real brief article. So I rushed to save the memes of Imgur. Imgur? I'll call it Imgur.
Imgur, yeah.
If you've spent time on the internet forums, you know Imgur. Ohio University student Alan Shea founded it in 2009 as an image hosting service that doesn't suck. But it's a different Imgur now. It was acquired by Media Lab, owner of Kick, in 2021, and last month announced that on May 15th, it would purge nudity and sexually explicit content, old, unused, or inactive content not tied to a user account.
Okay.
So they're going to delete a bunch of images that were posted, because you just posted, you drag an image on there to get a link to share to someone.
Yeah.
But if images that were dragged in were not attached to an account, they're deleting all those to save server space, which is kind of tying into the email thing.
Yeah.
But the problem is, if you're running a website or a blog or something, and you have images that you've used from Imgur, and they start deleting those, they're worried there's like millions of images are just going to be like taken off websites and stuff, because they're connected to a link on the Imgur website. Yeah. And as soon as those website links are gone, because the image, then it's like you just got all these blog articles and news articles that are linking somewhere, and then they're all just like a blank now. Yeah.
Well, if they're deleting old ones anyway, they're probably going to be articles and stuff from like 10 years ago. Like no one's probably going to really reference those old ones anyway.
Why not? What if you want to go and research about something, anything in the news, a celebrity, a brand, a piece of sport, or anything?
It's almost like deleting history, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not the craziest thing, but it's just interesting that, like, I don't know, like, you just random bits of information off the internet going to start getting deleted.
The Great Purge.
Great Purge.
It's like burning books.
Burning books.
Maybe.
And
but don't burn this episode. No? That's a bad one. What were you going to say? But don't purge this episode?
Yeah? Better.
Okay.
Better.
Yeah. Well, don't purge this episode. Tune in next week to see us and our lovely faces. If you watch the video format, if you listen, you get to hear our beautiful voices. Thank you so much for listening and watching. We'll see you next time.
Episode 67, this one was.
It was, yeah, 67. Next week, 68. The other one, 69, and then 70.
And then...
Yeah, and follow on through there.
If we count up from there, can we?
I think so.
All right. Thank you, guys. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment if you got this far. Let us know if you want Anthony Robbins.
Yes, also known as Tony Robbins.
Tony.
Yeah, good old Tony.
Tony Tones.
Tone. All right, bye, everyone.
Bye.
See ya.